Alright, fellas, so Terrakion's Legendary Arena is here with missions this time. I've already tried recording this video once and it has not gone well, and I am very tired of doing this. But I've got a better setup, slightly, and it should go a little bit more in my favor, I hope. And if it doesn't, I'm going to cry. Anyway. It's not actually that bad. I can live with it. But we've got the Terrakion missions here, and Terrakion first came around back in March during the half anniversary. You know, it was a little unspoken new addition to the game, right? Well, it wasn't unspoken, but it wasn't really directly for the half anniversary, but I feel they wanted to just give us something new, and I feel like it was for the half anniversary, right? Just kind of unspoken. But anyway, so Terrakion's Legendary Arena is not really that difficult. There's some things that can make it a bit difficult, but there's also a lot of things you can do in order to build around what they can do. So for one, Terrakion hits hard, and it can buff its offensive stats and even defensive stats, but that doesn't really matter since crits are the major damage dealer in this game as it is. Buffing its offenses, of course, you can mitigate by debuffing its stats directly or using something like Snatch or whatever, or whatever you want to do, or like Special Costume Zinnia's Buddy Move, and just steal their stats. Doesn't really matter what you really want to do, but you can also you can do those things if you so choose, or you can just debuff them outright, or you can just live with them. You can also do that, and that can probably work out just as well anyway. So doesn't make too much of a difference. And of course, you can buff your own defensive stats. Just go ahead and do that as well, which is what we'll be doing in this video. But the second thing with Terrakion is that it also has the way to mitigate damage done to it. So first HP bar, I'm quite certain there is no mitigation. I think that's just a free bar. Second HP bar, if you do not have a zone, weather, or terrain up, you know, one of those field effects, you know, the three elemental boosters, as I care to call them. If you don't have those up, or one of those up, then Terrakion is going to be receiving 40% less damage. So you want to have those set up, you want to be able to do that damage, you know, all of that good stuff. And on the last HP bar, the damage reduction goes from 40% to, I think, 80%. It may be 90%, it may be 70%, I don't remember, but I'm quite certain it's 80% damage reduction if there is no field effect up. So you want to have somebody with those field effects, and good thing I brought those, right? Pretty sure back in that original video I used like Mewtwo, may have been Blaine or Acerola or Winona, one of those characters, and then a random support, I forget who, but that setup was able to beat it pretty easily. You can also beat it pretty easily with this setup as well. So yeah, let's actually look at the missions first before I go into it. We've got 3 Sinnoh characters, 3 Psychic characters, and 3 Elite Four characters. So of course I'm going to be using a couple, general pool sync pairs for this video. If you don't have them, then you can try to build around it yourself. Of course, you can use up to 9 sync pairs in order to complete all these missions, or if you want to take it slower, you can use 3 characters of one specific type for the mission. Like for Psychic, you can use 3 Psychic characters, then go in with your actual team and beat it that way, and then go into it with 3 Elite Four characters, and then lose and then beat it with your actual team, and you can do all of that, which is 3 battles, but it'll get you all the missions done, right? Or you can do them all in one go, which I prefer to do, but of course you don't have to. So in order for us to do this, we use paid pairs, not paid pairs, but general pool sync pairs, so characters you may not have, just kind of depends on luck. Flint and Gardenia, of course, are free, and they are both, Flint is on Sinnoh and Elite Four, Gardenia is just in Sinnoh, but then Lucian here, who is a general pool sync pair, he's actually the best sync pair for this because he is on all 3. He is a Psychic type sync pair, he is a Sinnoh character, and he is an Elite Four member, so he is in all 3 of those categories. Of course, they are, based on theme skill, so Sinnoh and Elite Four, he's got both of them. Yeah. So if you don't have Lucian, then you're going to have to build around that a little bit, because I built this setup specifically because I have Lucian. And then our actual team here, of course, you can, again, build it a little bit differently. Remember, you can use up to 9 sync pairs. I only care to use 6 because it makes it so Terrakion doesn't get off too many sync buffs at the start of battle, which can make things a little bit harder if he does. But I digress. We got Hop here, who does not fit on anything. He's only here for defense buffs. For the most part, defense buffs and healing, and his own bit of damage with Behemoth Bash he can do. Those are the big things that you want from Hop here. We got Caitlyn here, who is on Psychic and Elite Four, and she's overall a pretty solid on-type Psychic damage dealer. And then Bianca here, who is psychic and also is able to apply psychic terrain, which is able to, you know, remove the mitigation or damage reduction that Terrakion has. So let's go ahead and hop into the battle here with our sacrifice team. With this team, honestly, just don't do anything, pretty much. You can do damage, that's fine. You know, use dire hit pluses, use your special attack buffs, whatever you care to do. I'm going to be using, I'm just going to be spamming Confusion with Lucian. That's about all I'm going to be doing because I want to debuff his defenses, but I also don't want to lower his attack to where he's going to be doing a little, you know, very little damage, and he's going to build up like 5 sync buffs, and we're not even going to be off the first health bar, right? That would not be good for us. Go ahead and buff our special attack there, hit a Leaf Storm, and sure, that'll work. And now we'll just start using Confusion, and we'll be able to debuff some special defense here, which will make our Caitlyn do a little bit more damage at the beginning of the next battle, right? You can also, of course, you know, use your sync move. Just try and do as much damage as you as possibly can. It doesn't really matter if you do a little bit of damage or if you do a lot of damage. Getting it below this the first half of its health bar would be, of course, optimal, but obviously I don't expect that to happen because that's not even going to happen here for me. But if it can happen for you, then hey, great, you can make it work. But I'm going to continue to just debuff his special defense here a bit. He should go, Lucian should go down here with the Bulldoze. Yeah, he went down, and as you can see, Terrakion has -3 special defense, meaning our psychic attacks are going to be doing quite a bit more damage from Caitlyn and Bianca, even though, actually, no, Bianca will actually have crit buffs in this battle. Last time I tried this, I did not have crit buffs available for Bianca, but now I do, because Hop is able to buff crit. Or, yeah, Hop. I always get Hop and How mixed up, and I know which one's which, I just don't know. I guess my brain just doesn't fucking work. Anyway, I digress. Gage shouldn't actually be too bad on this team, mostly for the fact that Bianca is able to do precognition, which moves Gage faster whenever you're in psychic terrain, and she's also got Pep Rally on that grid, as well as having Hop with 50% free moves next, or, you know, free Venge, and Caitlyn having guaranteed free moves next every time she lands a super effective hit. So that's very, very good for us, right? Go ahead and go for a Behemoth Bash there, and as you can see, I can just do a free Psychic there because I was on, you know, I was super effective typing. The bad thing about that you can watch out for here with Terrakion is that he may go for Stone Edge, which can do a lot of damage, but as long as you lower him down to half of his HP before he uses his move that will be right before his sync move, then he will use Swords Dance instead, which can be a problem in and of itself, but you should be fine nonetheless. It shouldn't really matter all that much. So there we go. We can go ahead and use Caitlyn's sync move. If you don't have Caitlyn EX, that's perfectly fine. It does not make a difference. It's whatever. You'll be all right. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I'll just go for that. And then we'll try and get our Psychic in here before, yeah, he got a Swift in, which is nice. Perfectly free, and go ahead and go for a Psychic Terrain there. So damage is being reduced here because, you know, clear advantage 4, meaning 40% damage reduction, which is fine because we'll have our Psychic Terrain back up here right now. Go ahead and go for another Behemoth Bash and a Psychic. The crits will do a little bit of damage, so if you need to, of course, heal up your characters, preferably try to keep Bianca healthy and obviously Reuniclus healthy. Let's go ahead and heal up there, and yeah, we'll get him down to his last half health bar here. Okay, damn, do enough damage now, don't you? Jesus. But that's fine, that's fine. We'll go ahead and heal up Hop here after the sync move. And make sure you get an NPR with Caitlyn, because if you don't get that NPR, then there's going to be some problems you may deal with, right? You may have to, you know, do damage to Terrakion without actually having terrain up, which could definitely lead to a loss. So just try and get NPR, fish for NPR and Bianca. You don't need like precognition or any of these abilities. Like Bianca can still be at 1 out of 5. That should be, or not 1 out of 5, but whatever. I guess 2 out of 5. She would probably get NPR. Whatever level she gets NPR for Psychic Terrain, that's what move level you'll want to have with Bianca. So keep that in mind, of course. Yeah, you should be fine anyway. Just Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, man. All right. I'm going to heal up not Bianca. I'm going to heal up Reuniclus there. And after this, we should be able to finish off the Terrakion, right? So he's going to go for a Sacred Sword, which may KO Hop, but Yeah, actually, no, he doesn't have any crit buffs, right? Yeah, he doesn't have any crit buffs, so he probably won't KO. Yeah, he just barely doesn't. There we go. So, took it out with Psychic. I tried this with Skyla before, but Skyla's weak to Rock for one, so that was already a horrible idea. And she kept getting crit because I didn't have her gridded with Vigilance because I had to use Antitoxin for some Tornado's Legendary Arena clears. Or Legendary Gauntlet clears. So, yeah, that was a little bit annoying. But yeah, there's all the missions done. Hop, obviously, he's a free sync pair. You can get him to whatever move level you want. Obviously, you don't need any of the sacrifice sync pairs to be at any specific move level. Just have a single copy of them, and you'll be good. Lucian, 1 out of 5 is just enough, because obviously mine's 1 out of 5, because he's like one of the... I've only... I think there's only 4. There may be 5, but I think there's only 4 sync pairs I have in this game that are less than 3 out of 5. That's in the general pool. So, or no, 5, because I don't have Shauna at all. Lucian, Shauna I don't have, and then Melanie, Gordy are 1 out of 5, and Courtney is 2 out of 5. Pretty sure those are the only sync pairs from the general pool that I have at less than 3 out of 5. So yeah, but yeah, Caitlyn here, just have her 3 out of 5. She's a very old sync pair, and she's in the Univis Ticket Scout. If unless you're like a very, very new player, you should at least have a copy or 2 of her. I'm pretty sure she actually gets some of the powerful stuff here at 2 out of 5 anyway. I think she may get Furious Brain at 2 out of 5. I could be wrong there, but Furious Brain and Sync Power Flux are the very, very big multipliers you want to have with her. Everything else is just kind of helpful instead of, necessary, but still very, very nice to have, at least at 3 out of 5. And then Bianca here, whatever level she gets Psychic Terrain NPR. Which may be 3 out of 5, but I don't actually know. No, actually, it looks like it may be a 1 out of 5 Psychic Terrain NPR here, because it's pretty soon on the grid. I've actually got it pulled up. I've got Pokemon Masters tools pulled up here. I can actually look really quickly and see what move level she gets NPR at. Yeah, 1 out of 5. Yeah, she gets Train Move NPR at 1 out of 5, or Psychic Terrain NPR at 1 out of 5. So you only need 1 copy of her in order to actually really utilize her here. The Precognition 2 and the Pep Rally and the Team Hit and Heal definitely do help a lot, but I think you can definitely clutch out a win without these abilities, just as long as you have that NPR on Psychic Terrain, because you're going to need it in order to actually, damage Terrakion towards the ass end of the battles. And of course, you could probably do it with only 2, maybe, but I felt like I needed to get that Psychic Terrain up at the beginning, because this is why I was using Skyla. Every time you use Stone Edge, it's got an increased crit chance, which if you have Vigilance, that's not that bad. But my Skyla didn't, and I kept dealing with Stone Edge, so I just went ahead and used Psychic Terrain, which meant he would get below half HP faster, meaning he'd skip the cycle to use Stone Edge, and would just go ahead and use Swords Dance, which is a lot more safe for my Skyla. But since if you use the same setup as me, you can use Hop, and he could probably take the Stone Edge a lot better. So you may not actually have to use that Psychic Terrain that I used at the very beginning, only maybe try and use it towards, the beginning of the second health bar, and you can probably save your Psychic Terrains as much as you want, really. But I digress. I think that's enough talking from me. This is the Terrakion Legendary Arena missions. It's all pretty easy. You can do many different strategies. This is just one of a few strategies that that you can, make up yourself. Just make sure you have all those characters that are required on the missions, and you'll be good to go ahead and just beat these legendary arenas, get those free gems, summon for your favorite sync pairs, whatever you want to do, right? So yeah, those are the free gems you can get from the legendary arena Terrakion here. Good luck with the missions. Hope this helped a little bit. Yeah, I'll see you all later. And of course, you don't need Caitlyn EX. Just saying, you don't need Caitlyn EX. You should be fine. But yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.